Hey guys, it's Lisa. Welcome to Banning, Panning and Beyond. Today I'm bringing you part one of a palette bingo collab that I'm doing with Joy. Her channel name is Joylynn Grindle. So I am relatively new to Joy's channel, but I have really enjoyed watching her videos. She is an unboxer, but she also does like try-ons and reviews, and she does like get ready with me style, sort of like just chit chat videos. I've really enjoyed watching her Halloween look videos that she's been doing lately. They're sort of based on just looks that you can create just using your own makeup. She's very creative. So she's also currently doing a collab with two other YouTubers for a giveaway, but unfortunately by the time this video gets uploaded, that giveaway will be over. So what else does she do? She's recently started doing Mask Mondays. Yeah, and I would really love to be able to mimic her, where she sort of like goes, you know, she chucks something in extra just to keep you on your toes, but can't quite get the way that she does that. So sorry if I just embarrassed myself, Joy. But anyway, so I'm just going to get into explaining the collab that we're doing. And as you may have read in the title, we are using the Beauty Bay and Nikkie Tutorials collab palette. So I have not used this yet. I know that Joy has dipped into hers. So in working out what we were going to do, we sort of went a bit back and forth with ideas, and we ended up settling on the fact that this palette is supposedly like the light and the dark side, but when you open it up, there's actually 5 columns there, so it was going to be a bit hard to sort of divvy up the two sides. So we decided instead that we would divvy it up as a top and a bottom, and we originally rolled where Joy picked she wanted to use the top half and I was going to use the bottom, and then we thought, you know what, no, we're both going to use the top and both going to use the bottom, hence the two-part collab. So I rolled the random numbers for the top part, and Joy rolled the random numbers for the bottom part. So I'll get into the bottom part in the next video, but what I'm going to do is just bring up the numbers that I rolled, and I'm going to swatch them. So the very first number we got out of these, running 1 through to 5 and then 6 through to 10, so the first number we got was number 10, so we've got that one. Then we had 3, which is this one, so we've got 2 shimmers. 7, so oh my goodness, we've got the red there, and then 4, which is this one, and then number 1. So wow, that is like some definitely only, you know, you'd only do them in a palette bingo. So I'm just going to swatch them. So the first one was Underground, so there is Underground. That's a beautiful sort of bronzy shimmer. Number 3 is Ivy. So I've got absolutely no idea what I'm going to do. Another gorgeous sort of more silvery shimmer. 7 is Mikai, which was her brother, who sadly she lost to cancer. And wow, that is so pigmented. That is scary. Then we have number 4. So it's a burgundy shade called Slasher. That one swatches a little bit patchy, so we'll see how that one performs on the eye. And then number 1, goodness gracious, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with those colors. So I am actually going to jump off camera quickly. I'm going to have a think about what I'm going to do with these ones. It's definitely going to be very interesting to see what look Joy creates. She does play with color, so she may be a little bit more comfortable with this than I am, but anyway, we'll see. So I will be back very soon. And I just realized I made a mistake. I can't count. So seven is actually yellow, not red. So I'm going to get that red off my arm. Joy's probably watching me going, what are you talking about? Wow, so I can't even get that off. Imagine what that would do to my eyes. And then I'm going to swatch the yellow. Maybe that's not quite so scary. That will go in better with the orange. It's a very bright yellow though. So we're going to, can't say that I'm much more comfortable. That feels quite chalky to use, but we'll see how it works on the eye. So it's a little bit disappointing. Oops, not a good finger to be holding up. So there's the color story there. So and again, I'm going to jump off camera and I will be back to see what I'm going to do with it. Okay, so I think I've decided I'm just gonna just go for it and see how things go. So I am not guaranteeing a good quality look here. They're definitely brighter colors than I am used to. So I think I'm just going to do a bit of a gradient. So I'm just looking into the mirror behind the camera here, behind my phone I should say, and we'll just see what happens. So that's actually gone on not too bad actually, nowhere near as bright as what it looks in the pan. So I'm going to do a different style than I'm used to. Normally I'll just go with the crease color and then I go with something different on the lid, but I think I'm not going to do that today. So I'm just update you guys using my color switch. Last time I did my get ready with me with Nona, I mentioned that we had quite a few medical appointments between myself, my husband and my daughter. So I went for mine at the hospital and basically I got checked. I'd had a high-risk cervical screening come back, which I was quite nervous about because of some other people I know that have had trouble, and it was 2 years in a row that I'd had the screening come back not good. But I went into the hospital, got checked, and basically they just said there's no sign of cell changes, no lesions, so I just have to go again in another 12 months to get checked. So that's good. I'm very relieved about that. I've also recently had an MRI done of my wrist because I've had problems with my right wrist, and they've picked up on some calcification going on, and I get the results of that tomorrow. So after the initial consultation with my specialist, he sort of said he's thinking it's one of two things. One will need an operation, the other one there's really not much I can do about it. So we just have to wait and see how the results come back. So far I've done the yellow, then I've done the orange. So that's shades 7 and 1. So I'm going to now go in with shade 4, which is the purple or sort of burgundy one there called Slasher. I might just go in with a slightly smaller brush here. So yeah, my husband went to see a sleep specialist, like a lung specialist, I should say, because he has high blood pressure and signs of sleep apnea. So he's yet to go in and see somebody to get a sleep test done, which he can thankfully get done at home, but he may not get in this year because they are very booked out, and he is very limited to what days he can get off work because it's his own business. This is not going on real well. So I know purples are hard, but maybe I shouldn't blame the palette. That it's probably just, as Nona would call it, user error on my behalf. I haven't been referring to the chart that you get, which I should have. So there's a chart that sort of tells you the best way to apply. So this definitely says that it's best to go in with a brush. So is Redemption, which is the orange shade, and Vla is also a brush. So far so good, but in regards to I'm applying them right, which is what I would expect because they're mattes, but hopefully, even though it looks like a bit of a mess at the moment, it will blend out okay. So I'm just going to try and get a little bit more laid down on this side here. And see if I can blend that in. I actually think it looks better in the camera on my phone than, I should say my husband's phone, than what it does in real life. So that's telling you it's not good. All right, so I'm just going to get a clean blending brush and see if I can get that to blend out a little bit. So anyway, hopefully my husband will get cleared of sleep apnea because he is a professional driver, and that would sort of go on his record, and he'll have to go in for annual checks and whatnot. But I mean, in the end of the day, you've got to do what you got to do, what's best for your health. So that doesn't seem to be blending out too bad. Yeah, so far not so bad. Like, you know, just knocking the appointments over. It's been hard, obviously, with COVID, because everywhere you go, you know, you got to wear masks and keep your social distance and everything, and not a good time to be going out for medical appointments. I'd rather just be staying home, but life goes on and just got to do what you got to do. So but my daughter goes in for her test results today. I'm expecting a phone call very shortly. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend because they've limited the amount of people that can go in with her. So yeah, hopefully I'll get a call soon and we'll get positive news about that. So looking pretty good in the camera, not overly intense. I'm thinking maybe I should have used a maybe like a white base or something to really make the pigment stand out. But then again, it's probably a good way for me, seeing as I'm not super comfortable with bright colors. I'm just going to try and add a bit more orange in there. The marigold color, and try and blend those out again. So I'm looking okay, I think. So it'd be interesting if you had these colors to work with, what would you have done with them. I'd be interested to know. So I think I might take a little bit of the burgundy shade or mulberry shade and just put a little bit down on my lash line there. So what else can I tell you? Well, I always feel like I've got shadow that's, you know, I think it's just I don't know. I think I've just, yes, I've smudged it. I don't know how I manage to do that every time. So I'm just going to see if I can. Just don't know. It doesn't want to come off. I have to go in with a little bit of concealer to cover that over. So my husband and I, as I mentioned before, we've been doing some landscaping. We were doing a fire pit area, so we had to do some retaining and then fill it with a whole heap of crusher dust, which we have now gotten to a point where we're happy with in that regard, and it's coming to just doing the decorating, which is always the fun part, and it's just a matter now of, you know, going shopping and picking out what we want to do to finish the area off and make it look presentable. So we've already used our fire pit down there. With my birthday, had quite a few visitors and we got to use it a few times, so that was really good. So hopefully I can, once the area is finished, I might take some photos and like show you guys what we've done. Okay, so now I'm going to go in the lash line with this shade here, Underground. See how well that picks up. Being a shimmer on a brush, I may have to spray. It's going on okay, but it's not standing out, so I may give it a spray. See whether or not this works better. I should have checked the card. Yeah, so brush or finger. Bit hard to use your finger on your lower lash line though. I may need a different brush to pick it up. Let me try a different brush and see whether it picks up a bit better. And I'll give that a spray as well. Okay, here's hoping. I feel like I've got some on my eyeball. So yeah, not standing out a real lot, unfortunately, with this lighting, but it is what it is. You gotta work with the colors you get when you're doing a palette bingo. So I'm trying to think what else is new that I can sort of fill you guys in on. So I'm definitely getting some of my packages are starting to arrive from overseas, so that's exciting, and hopefully I can get a few more haul videos filmed. Just not super impressed with that on the lash line, but I don't want to go too heavy with the purple, so we'll see how it stands out once I put mascara and everything on, because that seems to really enhance the finished look. So all right, so last shade that I need to use is this one here, is Ivy. So that to me is a really good inner corner highlight, and it says again brush or finger for this one. So I think, even though I'm probably going to make a big mess, I'm going to use my finger and try and do that in the inner corner. So that is definitely goes on quite well with the finger. So it's a shame I wish I could have tried. Actually, I'm wondering, is that going to cover up that mulberry shade that I got there? I'm just wondering whether or not a silicone brush, I know they're good for glitters, but I'm wondering whether or not that will work. Let's give it a go. Wow. You can see the difference there. You can notice that a little bit more there. So I'm going to try that on the other side as well with the underground shade. So for a color story that was really intimidating me at first, and I think it actually came out quite well. It's a bit of a sunset look. So I know exactly which blush I want to use with this look, and I'm going to jump off camera and do my blush, do my highlight, my lips and mascara and all that stuff, and I'll be back with the finished look. Okay, so I am back with my eyes done, my cheeks. I just haven't done my lips, so I thought I would jump back on and do that with you guys. So what I ended up using for my blush, which I mentioned in my single blushes inventory, which will have already gone up by the time this video does. This is the blush that I used. I went in with a very, very light hand. It's called Dahlia by Becca. So when you see me mention that one in that video, you can actually see what it's like on. And as soon as I did that mulberry shade in the outer corner, I sort of thought about using this blush. And from my Roulette Pan Collab project, I decided to use a couple of other products from there, so that worked out well. So I used this Melt Cosmetics highlight today. It's got that pink shimmer to it, but it's not really standing out that much in this lighting, but so I got to use that, which was really, really good. I used my highlighter stick for my eyebrow or eyebrow highlight, whatever you want to call it, and I'm using the gloss from my Roulette Pan Collab products as well. So that's the Bite Beauty one. I thought it was such a good look to be able to use all those products, and they would go together really, really well. So that is very pleasing. It's nice when some things just work out. So I think one of the things I love so much about doing these sorts of collabs is when you're given the same shades, I've got a bit of fluff floating in the air in front of me, just to see how people use it, the same shades differently. So even when I did one with Nona recently, and we used the same shades, I was watching her thinking that she was going to end up doing the same placement as I did, but she ended up doing a completely different look and just going there. Like, I had the blue on my lash line. I took the easy way out, but Nona actually used the blue as her lid shade. So I'll actually link that video at the end of this one. So you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, you can go check that one out, and make sure that you go over and check out Joy's channel. I think that the look she creates will end up being really, really nice. So let me know what you think of this look, and do you think I did well with the colors that I got? Would you have used them the same way I did? I'd be really, really interested to know. So so look out for part 2 of this collab. It'll be going up a week after this one does. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.